Love is perhaps the most perilous adventure a human being can undertake, not because it is rare, but because it is so ungovernable. We like to imagine that love can be secured by choice, guarded by promises, and tamed by the rituals of commitment. But love laughs at these attempts to domesticate it. It is like the wind, invisible yet undeniable, moving freely without any master. To fall in love is to surrender to something that will not be explained. You can talk about chemistry, about the meeting of minds, about shared values or fated encounters. But the truth is that love arrives as a disturbance. One moment you are simply moving through life anchored in the ordinary patterns of your days. The next you are pulled into an orbit you did not choose, a gravitational field that rearranges your entire sense of self. It is dangerous precisely because it threatens the illusion of control. And that is why so many resist it. They want love, but they want it on their own terms. They want the warmth without the burning, the closeness without the surrender. Yet to truly love another is to risk everything you thought was secure. You cannot enter love without the willingness to be undone. This is why love is a kind of death, the death of certainty, the death of the self you thought was whole. And in that death is a rebirth, the opening of the heart to a reality larger than the one you can control. Falling in love is not about completing yourself. That idea is a dangerous illusion. If you believe you are incomplete without another person, you will seek them with a hunger that devours both of you. True love arises not from need, but from overflow. It happens when two beings already rooted in their own being find that their joy expands in the presence of the other. And still it is a risk, for even in the purest love there is no guarantee of forever. The one you love may walk beside you for a lifetime or only for a season. The form may change, the connection may fade, but this does not make the love less real. The task then is to love without trying to cage it, to be with another as the sky is with the clouds, letting them come and go without trying to fix their shape. This is the paradox. When you release love from the demand to last, it has the freedom to stay. Love is not for the timid. It will strip away your defenses, your masks, and your illusions of control. It will demand that you open yourself fully, knowing you could be hurt. And it will offer in return something that no guarded life can ever taste. The sweet, fierce aliveness of giving yourself without reserve. When you fall in love, you do not just meet another person, you meet yourself reflected in a mirror you cannot polish or distort. The beloved becomes the great revealer, showing you both the beauty and the shadows you have carried all along. This is why love is sacred, not because it is safe, but because it is transformative. The danger of love is real, but so is the danger of living without it. You may avoid heartbreak, but you will also avoid the fire that melts the ice around your soul. You may keep your balance, but you will never know the exhilaration of falling, of surrendering to something greater than your own will. In the end, love is worth the risk, not because it always works out, but because it always wakes you up. And once you have been awakened by love, you cannot go back to sleep. You may be wounded, but you will also be alive in a way the unbroken can never understand. So when love calls, do not ask whether it is safe. Ask only whether you are willing to be changed. For to fall in love is not to find a destination, but to step into a river whose current you cannot predict. And if you allow it, that current will carry you to places you never knew your heart could go. You see, love is not a possession. It's not a prize to be won, nor a project to be completed. It's a living thing. like a flame, and a flame cannot be held in your hands without burning you. When you truly fall in love, you're not entering into an arrangement to secure comfort or avoid loneliness. You are stepping into the unknown. You are placing your trust in a force that is older than the human mind and far more mysterious than any definition could capture. Most people are terrified of this. They want certainty. They want guarantees. They want to be told, if I give my heart, I will not be hurt. But love offers no such promise. In fact, the very risk of being hurt is what makes love real. Because if you cannot be hurt, you also cannot be touched. And if you cannot be touched, you are not truly alive. The strange paradox is that the deeper you fall, the less control you have, and yet the more free you become. Love loosens the chains of self-obsession. It pulls you out of the little shell where you've been hiding and drops you into the open sea. And yes, you may drown, or you may discover you can swim farther than you ever imagined. So to love is to trust the current, not because you know where it will take you, but because you have surrendered to the fact that the river is life itself. The trouble is, most of us have been taught to approach love like a contract. We carry invisible checklists in our heads. We measure people against our conditions. We say, I'll open myself to you, but only if you meet my needs, match my expectations, and never make me feel uncomfortable. But the reality is, love that is safe in that way is no love at all. It's just mutual convenience dressed up as romance. True love is an act of courage. It asks you to step beyond your carefully guarded identity, to let go of the image you've been polishing for years, and to be seen fully, with your flaws, your fears, your strange little quirks. And here's the thing, when you love someone deeply, you will be changed. There's no escaping that. If you go into love thinking you can remain exactly as you are, you're not loving, you're negotiating. And yet, this change is not a loss of yourself. It's a widening of yourself. It's the realization that your heart is bigger than the boundaries you've been living within. We tend to think that falling in love is about finding the one, but perhaps it's really about finding the parts of ourselves we've long since forgotten, and they are reflected in the other person's eyes. So yes, it's risky. People can disappoint you, they can leave, they can betray your trust. But if you avoid love because of those possibilities, you avoid the very thing that makes life vivid.